fun in the first half anyway. I think across the country, if it is going across the country like it went in this gym today, there's going to be some serious shock and adjustment. For those of you that don't know, they have changed the rules, not the right word, but they've re-emphasized calling hand checks and protecting ball handlers and shooters by the letter of the law, so to speak, as the rule is written, which can make it not fun at times. It wasn't very fun for us in the first half, but we played an exhibition game the other night, and I mean no disrespect to the officiating at all, but the whistle wasn't the same. And so I think there's going to be some adjustment on officiating and adjustment on coaching, and it's just the kids are trying to figure out what's what, and we've even had private scrimmages that weren't called like that. So I just think there's an adjustment period. Now, Bluefield, I'm glad the game worked out the way it is, but they're a talented bunch. MJ and Gannon Baker. MJ's the head coach, and Gannon's just her husband, basically. Gannon is affiliated with Nike Basketball. He was here today, and they have a talented bunch for an NAI group. And, I think our kids were pretty ramped up because of the field trip day. And the only thing I thought we could have done better is finish plays and make free throws. We held them to 23 points in the first half and 18 points in the second half, and that'll win most nights. And the margin extended because we were a little bit better offensively in the second half because of personnel than we were in the first half. So.
Leah Scott makes a huge difference on the floor. I mean, as soon as she picks up her third, and you wonder, is she going to go into that here we go again mode? But instead, she used it as motivation, and it sort of fired her up and leads you all on a big run.
Well, I mean, I think our kids did a pretty good job of that, of not hanging their head and saying, man, this is awful. This isn't any fun. They kind of bowed their neck, and Leah's a good player. I'm a better coach when she's on the floor, and we're happy to have her.
Chica steps up the rebounding whenever Leah goes off the court, and obviously that's crucial, especially in a game where you all had a lot of looks at the rim and didn't finish many of them.
Yeah, we weren't very good offensively today, and I didn't think we'd practiced the last couple of days, and I tried to get them going a couple of days ago. I even left the gym and let the staff coach them, and then I went nuts on them again yesterday as I am capable of doing. And yeah, I think you play how you practice for the most part, whether that's in the classroom. If you're not prepared for a test, then it's a little bit more burdensome than it is if you are prepared. And I think that preparation leads to celebration. It's one of the things that we preach. And so I think we ought to be a little more locked in as we prepare to go on to face a good Robert Morris team that's picked to win the league.
And Tika McNeil for them has been a primary scorer, and you're able to hold her for 2 of 13 from the floor. I know the Wheeler went off a little bit early in the first half, but were you all focused on McNeil and not letting her get into her groove early?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're focused on Wheeler and McNeil. We thought that those were two players, and they had a kid start that wasn't on the scouting report because you don't get much film, this time of year, especially on this level of team. And then they had a kid off the bench that hadn't played all year that was back off from suspension. And so it's kind of a weird deal. You don't know all the play calls. You don't know everything that's going on, but that's something for our kids. You got 10 new faces. We're inexperienced. I mean, that's what it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be a grind. Now, like I said the other day, I don't know how many wins we're going to have, but this is my favorite team I've ever coached. Even if we go 1-28 the rest of the year, 29 if we lost all of them, because they are going to let us in the conference tournament this year no matter what. So it's I like this group. I think we have to do a better job preparing them, and I think that's not just on our player personnel. I think that's on our coaching staff. And that being said, we handed them Robert Morris scouting reports today. We won't talk about it because the NCAA says they don't want you to review film, do all that. We just gave them the scouting report, said we'll talk about it tomorrow. And so we are quickly moving forward.
How difficult is it? I mean, you mentioned 10 new faces, first game for a lot of them. They're trying to get used to each other. Does that sort of put them on overload whenever you get those quick whistles early in the game and you sort of have to calm them down and say, hey, look, it's just basketball?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, but do I have a tough job? Yes, as do you. As do my direct superior and the AD. And, I mean, nobody's job is easy in their own world. I have no idea what you go through, and you have no idea what I go through. But, yeah, it's tough. Whenever they want to go play, and the whistle says you can't do that. And it's just going to take some adjusting. And I think that's all over the country. But we're the third game of the day across the country at the Division I level. So I would be curious to see how the feedback is. And the officials are wanting feedback from us and video, and they'll get lots of it from us.
McKenzie, obviously an in-state product, and you know, were pretty high on her coming into this season. It seemed like, you know, when she got the open looks, they were in rhythm, and she made some decisions without the, you know, dishing the ball and things like that. There were pretty good decisions once she saw that Leah was getting into a rhythm too.
Well, I mean, she saved us in the first half, hit a couple shots that were big for us, and she stretches the defense. You know, we weren't very good from the three-point line as a whole, but we only try and shoot. We shoot so many, we only try and shoot 33% from there. And I think if we're as a team, you know, we're in good shape from there. But today it was everything around the basket. Chica was uncomfortable, but you know, Asia Sorrells I didn't think had a great day. Seporia didn't have a great day, but you never know what's going on in kids' lives. For example, and I won't get into the details, but we've had 4 deaths in our program in the last month, 2 in the last week. You know, and I am I protective of our kids? Sure, shouldn't I be? You know, people ask me all the time, I feel like you're on the side of the kids. Yeah, aren't you? You know, I mean, that's what we do. We're in higher education. It's not just college basketball, that to me. And so you never know what kids are fighting through. I mean, we had a kid get back from a funeral this morning at 5 a.m. with shoot around at 7:30. I can tell you this, she was at shoot around at 7:30, and I told her she could take off. I love this team. I don't know what that equates to, but I love coaching them.